Cal Gardner was born in 1924 in Transcona, Manitoba, and naturally took to ice hockey throughout the long, frozen winters, playing junior for a number of teams in and around Winnipeg. In 1943, Cal and his Winnipeg Rangers team had a remarkable year of success, first winning the Abbott Cup over the Saskatoon Quakers, which was awarded to the champion Junior A team in Western Canada. This granted the Rangers an appearance in the Memorial Cup against the formidable Oshawa Generals, who were coached at the time by hockey legend Charlie Conacher. However, Cal and his teammates, 7 of whom were actively enlisted in the Canadian Navy at the time, would prevail in 6 games of a 7-game series, with Cal himself scoring a hat-trick in Game 5 and 2 more goals in the Memorial Cup clinching Game 6. After this series, Cal himself would join the Canadian Navy to begin training for World War II at HMCS Griffin in Port Arthur, what's now known as Thunder Bay, Ontario, and continued to play hockey with the Port Arthur Navy team while training to join the war. Upon conclusion of the war, Cal began his professional hockey career with the New York Rovers, an affiliate of the NHL's New York Rangers, where he played with fellow Manitobans Church Russell and Rene Trudel. They found immediate success together and were quickly called up as a trio to the big club, where they would play for 3 years. After the 1947-48 season, Cal was traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's here he would find his way to Leaside. Playing 4 seasons with the Leafs, Cal would contribute 58 goals, 153 points, and help the Leafs to 2 Stanley Cup championships, his first in 1949, scoring the Stanley Cup winning goal in a 4-game sweep of the Detroit Red Wings, and his second in 1951, seen here hoisting Bill Barocco in this iconic photograph celebrating the victory. Despite later getting traded to Chicago and Boston, Cal and his wife Mary kept their house in Leaside, raising their 2 sons, Paul and Dave, over on Annesley Avenue, where road hockey games were a common occurrence. Both Paul and Dave had careers in the National Hockey League and are both members of our very own Leaside Sports Hall of Fame. Cal would often be seen throughout the years taking in the hockey games here at Leaside or at nearby rinks like North Toronto.
I've known Cal since probably 72, maybe 73, and around there. And then when Paul came to play with North Toronto here, and one of the things we used to do was I'd take the TTC. I was living in Dufferin and Eglinton. I'd take the TTC down to the Gardens, watch the Marley games, and then the Gardeners would bring us back up here for Paul and myself's game later on in the afternoon. So, and we spent a lot of time at their place playing ball hockey and things like that. And Cal was just a great guy. If you knew him and you looked at his hands, like his hands were huge. He was a big, big man. I think he was very physical when he played in the NHL. I think he was rough, tough. It wore off a little bit on his boys. Not great, but it did wear off on them a little bit. But he was just a great, great guy. Ran the Forest Hill Pro Shop for a while. Worked at CKFH after he's finished playing with, I think it was Foster Hewitt's station.
Game, and Cal, I imagine this game is right to your liking. If I recall some of the old days in which you were in several feuds with various players, do you mind recalling perhaps a few?
Oh, I've had a tussle with quite a few of the boys, Foster. As I say, I like a rough game. I like the body check. That's the only way I think I can play hockey. I wasn't a fast skater, but I'd still like to get in and body check.
I remember going to his house for lasagna. His mom made a great lasagna, and we used to go there and have lasagna once in a while. But he was just a real nice guy, and it's glad that Leaside has finally gotten him in. They should have put him in first and then the boys after, but they got it right now. And all 3 of them in there, that's great. It's well-deserved, and you can't say enough great things about Cal Gardner. That's for sure.
Fittingly, Cal left his 2 Stanley Cup rings, one to each of his sons, with whom tonight he joins here in the Leaside Sports Hall of Fame.